Thinking is the absence of understanding. You think because you don't understand. When understanding arises, thinking disappears. It is like a blind man groping his way. When you have eyes, you don't grope for the way, you see it. Understanding is like having eyes. You see, you don't grope. Thinking is groping, not knowing what is what. You go on thinking, guessing. Thinking cannot give you the right answer, because thinking can only repeat that which is known. Thinking has no vision for the unknown. Have you ever tried thinking about the unknown? How will you think about it? You can think only about that which you already know. It is repetitive. You can go on thinking it again and again. You can make new combinations of old thoughts, but nothing really is new. Understanding is fresh, new. It has nothing to do with the past. Understanding is here, now. It is an insight into reality. With thinking, there are questions and no answers. Even sometimes when you feel that you have found an answer, it is just because one has to decide in some way or other. It is not really the answer, but you have to decide in order to act, so some answer has to be clung to. And if you look deeply into your answer, you will see 1,001 questions arising out of it. Understanding has no questions but only answers, because it has eyes. Thinking is borrowed. All your thoughts are given by others to you. Watch, can you find a single thought that is yours, authentically yours, that you have given birth to? They are all borrowed. The sources may be known or unknown, but they are all borrowed. The mind functions like a computer, but before the computer can give you any answer, you have to feed it. You have to supply all the information, then it will give you the answer. That's what the mind has been doing. Mind is a biocomputer. You go on collecting data, knowledge, information, and then, when a certain question arises, your mind supplies the answer out of that collection. It is not a real response. It is just out of the dead past. What is understanding? Understanding is pure intelligence. That pure intelligence is originally yours. You are born with it. Nobody can give you intelligence. Knowledge can be given to you, not intelligence. Intelligence is your own sharpened being. Through deep meditation, one sharpens one's being. Through meditation, one drops borrowed thoughts, reclaims one's own being, reclaims one's originality, reclaims one's childhood, innocence, freshness. Out of that freshness, when you act out of understanding. And then the response is total, here, now. And the response is because of the challenge, not because of the past. For example, somebody asks you a question. What do? You immediately go inside the mind and find the answer. You immediately go into the basement of the mind where you have collected all your knowledge and find the answer there. Then it is thinking. Somebody asks a question and you become silent. You look into the question with penetrating eyes, not into the memory, but into the question. You face the question. You encounter the question. If you don't know, you say you don't know. A man of understanding is true. Even if he says, I don't know, his ignorance is more valuable than the knowledge of the mind, because at least his ignorance, his acceptance of the ignorance, is closer to truth. At least he is not trying to pretend. He is not a hypocrite. A man of understanding is true. Even if he says, I don't know, his ignorance is more valuable than the knowledge of the mind, because at least his ignorance, his acceptance of the ignorance, is closer to truth. At least he is not trying to pretend. He is not a hypocrite. Understanding is single. Understanding is central. It is simple. Thoughts are very complex. Understanding is very simple. You are married to one insight, but that insight works like a light, a torch. Wherever you focus your torch, mysteries are revealed. Wherever you focus your torch, darkness disappears. Try to find your hidden understanding. And the way is to drop thinking. And to drop thinking, there are two possibilities, either meditation or love.